Hi there, boys and girls. This is a short intro to actually two videos. It's about basic navigation with a map and a compass. And the first one will be this one, which contains explanation about maps and compass and how to use them in a classroom environment. And the second video will be much of the same, but then I will go out and do it in real life in the forest, in an unknown area where I've never been before. So just to show you the use of it in real life. So don't forget to watch video number 2 also. It's the follow-up of this one, so it's important. On a map you will see objects looking like this maybe. And you can have even some even stuff. So like that. This is a mountain looking like this, a little steeper on the other side. This one most likely looks something like this, even on both sides. These rings, if you transfer them down to this, they will slice up the mountain or hill. Sorry. So you see here, it's a little bit steeper on the backside, but you don't see that on this map or on this figure. But on this figure you can see that it's steeper on this side than it on that side. How can we see that? Well, we see the distance between these two. They are called elevation lines. So the distance between these decides how steep it is. And the height between these are noted on the bottom of your map. On my standard maps it's 20 meters. Can't write either. 20 meters between this. So if you measure this distance on your map and you find that this distance is 200 meters, well, then you know that for each 200 meters you go that way, it will rise 20 meters, so it's not so very steep. If you find out that this distance, or here, where it's very narrow, this distance is, let's say, 20 meters, then you have a 20-20. That would say you have a 40-degree angle to climb. So it's pretty steep. I'll show you with a figure how this elevation lines are in practice. How they really work with a small model. Okay, I'm gonna explain this elevation curves or elevation lines or contour lines, it's also called, once more. This is the 3D mountain in Potato Mountain in real life, and to create a two-dimensional map from a 3D reality, they slice the mountain in parts like this, and each slice will make one circle on a map. So if you remove the potato mountain, it will look something like this. You can see that each slice make their own circle. So you can see on the lines here, on this side, it's not very steep. There are a good distance between the lines. And on this other side, this side towards us, or the back side, or this other side, it's much steeper. So if we put it together, we will see that. Once more. So you see, it's not that steep. It's a little bit steep in the beginning. Is that correct? Yes, it is. It's short distance. Then it's long distance on the next one. Very short distance between 1 and 2, and a little longer on level 3, and a long way up to the last one. If we do like this, it's a little bit more visual. So now you see, it's not that steep on this side, but it's pretty steep on that side, and it's very steep in the front and in the back. So that's how you read the elevation lines, or contour lines if you want. What you see here is a standard, typical hiking map, very often used all over the place. And here in Norway we have a ratio of 1 to 50,000. That means if you measure 1 centimeter on a map, it's actually 50,000 centimeters in real life. So if you measure a distance from, let's see, this is a trail, so if you measure distance between that point and to this other point, you will see it's about 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters on the real on this map is, let's see, 1 centimeter is 50,000 centimeters in real life. So 1 centimeter will be 500 meters, and 5 centimeters will then be 2,500 meters, or 2.5 kilometers. That's the ratio of measurements on this map. It's 1 to 50,000. And if you see the colors, blue are always wet. In Norway we say blått vått, and it means blue is wet. So this is obviously some lake and smaller lakes, and you see this all these lines. This is marsh areas, so it's pretty wet. And you have some green area, darker green and lighter green. These darker green are for the most forest, but you never know if the forest have been cut down or not, so you have to see it. But you should expect some forest. And here you can see all these elevation lines, and each fifth lines also has a number on it. So this say 900. So I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that's 800, and there it is 800. So that's how you can find the elevation of an exact point. You can just count down from a known top. This top has 1128 meters. So you can count down from that if you are in an area like this, on this trail, for example. You should study the bottom of your map. It says everything about symbols, elevation, all this. So you find all the info you need. But when you read a map for walking, you can see here's a trail. Hope you can see it. It's a trail. It's a dotted line. And if we look at this, try to find the distance between this, it's about, if 1 centimeter is 500 meter, then 1 millimeter will be 50 meters. And I can measure 2 millimeters between these lines, elevation lines. So it means that for 100 meters you have to walk 20 meters up. So 100 meters that way, 20 meters up. So it's not that steep, but it's a hill. And if we look at the distance up to this top, it's about 3.5, 4 centimeters on if you follow the track, and that means 2 kilometers with pretty steep hill. Not very steep, but upwards. So that's how you should read a map. You should examine it in front and see where you plan your route and see how steep it is. Is it possible to go other ways? Is there a trail here? Is there a road somewhere? Here's a road from the other side, and then much shorter up. And it doesn't look like it's steeper either. It's just a little part. One part is a little bit steeper. The rest of it is not that steep, and it's shorter. So it's important to read and understand the map. Okay, I made a map here on the whiteboard. It's pointing north, always upwards. This is a road. This is a lake, and this black line is a creek. 2 creeks going into one and going into the lake. This is another creek going out. This is a mountain with 2 peaks, and this is another big hill mountain. Here's a cabin and another lake. This green color is a forest. It's forest area all over, and this is mountain areas. So the scenario is that you have a really good friend that's letting you use his fishing cabin to go fishing in this great lake up here on the other side of the mountains. And you're coming, driving your car on this road, and you have to stop somewhere and start walking up to the cabin. There's no trail. You have never been in this area before. You have your map and you have your compass. So let me tell you what I do. I would find a good point where it's easy to start navigation from. You have to walk around this lake anyway, so I would go to the west end of the lake, right here, because that's easy to have as a solid start point. So I'd go there, park my car, and walk up to the end of the lake without any navigation. It's a short hike, no problem. From there, you can take your bearing right at the cabin, but then you have to walk around the forest, up this hill, and down again on the other side. Some more forest, a bit up again and down before you get to the cabin. It's would be a tough way, and it might be dangerous also. So it's not a good option. What I will do, I will take first a bearing to this where this creek meets. That's a good solid point which you should be able to find pretty easily, because it's at the end of this mountain. A little bit north of that, you'll find these 2 creeks meeting into one. So you can go without doing any compass work at all. You can follow the shoreline until you get to the creek, and then walk up the creek. And then you can walk between these two mountains through this valley, and you will come somewhere here, and most likely you will be able to find the cabin. If something should happen on the way, you will not know your position. You are not able to tell anyone else where you are, and yeah, it's not good. So let's say you have to use the compass. Then I will take out my first bearing to this area between a mountain and a creek. So straight line. From there I can walk up this valley between these two mountains directly to the cabin. Like that. So first I put my compass on the map with using this edge, putting it on the map and let my starting point touch the edge and my finish point touching the edge. If it's too long between, you have just to aim. It's okay. So I'll do like this. And you see the north arrow. It's not necessary, but you can orientate your map first. Turn it towards north, so you see the map and you see the mountains in front of you. That's a good thing to do, but it's not necessary. Put the compass on, and if you see in the compass, it has some lines, and these lines are north-south lines, and they have to be parallel with the north-south grid net on the map. So put it on there and turn your housing on a compass until they are parallel. Then you take your compass and make sure that the moving north arrow turn it around until it rests between the two dots. If you have dots, on some compass you have this red marking at the bottom of your house. That's fine too. To do that, you have to hold your compass horizontally so the arrow can move freely. So put it on. Make sure the lines are parallel with the lines on the map, and take it out and turn it until the north arrow are in between my two dots or in the bottom marking. And now it is. Then I don't follow the north arrow, I follow the direction of the compass. And it has my compass have two arrows here. Some compass have one fat arrow in the middle. Doesn't matter. If it don't have arrows at all, doesn't matter. You follow the direction of the compass when the north arrow are in the correct position. Then you have the first bearing to that point. And when you start navigating, you might not see that point. You might just see something around here. Let's see, you see a big old pine. Okay? Let's point at that big old pine. Yeah, that's big old pine is in front of me. And then start walking to that pine. And when I get to that pine, I take my compass up again and align the arrows. And okay, I find a new point to walk through. If you have to walk between some stumps and broken down trees, maybe you have to go upriver to cross a small river or creek and then go back again. Then you won't lose your bearing by doing it this way. When you get to this area, you do the same again. Put your compass on from your start area and right towards the cabin. Turn the housing again, so the lines will be parallel with these lines on the map. It's important, may not be able to see that. Let's see. Hope you see that. If you see in the bottom here, it says north. It's important that you turn it right way, so you don't turn it wrong way. So the north will point south on the map. The north arrow in bottom of the housing have to point north on the map. If you do wrong, you will start working exactly the opposite direction. So turning it until it's parallel. There it's parallel. And I find my new bearing like that. And I find a point in distance. Oh, I can see a small rock coming out from the forest. Okay, then I walk to that rock. And when I get to that rock, I find my compass again. Find some new point to walk through. That's how you do it. But on this kind of terrain, it's you always have this mountains and this valley you're walking through to help you. Even if it gets foggy and the weather is terrible, you will feel when you start walking up a hill. So you know you'll walk somewhere up here anyway. But learn a compass, and I'll show you the practical use of this right away. So to learn map and compass and how to use them together, I would suggest that you start with buying yourself a map over an area where you know very well. It's very good, because then you can see the map, study it, and see, that's the little creek I know, and you find, there is where the creek bends, that's the little pond. So then you can read the map and remember in your head how it actually looks like. And by comparing these two, you'll be very good at reading maps. So I suggest that you absolutely buy a map over a very well-known area and study it, use it when you walk. You don't need to use a compass, just use a map, because you are well known in this area. So use the map, see if it's correct with the real life, and there can be something you don't understand, but most of the time you will find that the map is pretty accurate to the terrain, and you will get some aha surprises when reading the map and studying it of a known area. So that's my best tip for you. If you're going to start learning maps, find a map of your own area, a known area. That will help you a lot.